What's going on, you guys? It's your girl, Kelsey Lynn, and this is Mitten Kitten Moments. As you guys can see, I got some new mics. I am very serious about podcasting. This is something I've wanted to do for so long, and I really wasn't, um, I don't know. I guess I just wasn't consistent enough, but that is all about to change because you know how I am. And I am a firm believer that if you are passionate about something, you really should go for it. So here we go. So 2025 is coming to a close, and 2026 is upon us. And this year has been a very wild one for me. Mainly with my personal life. I kind of backed off of music this year. I did not give it my all, and I'll just be honest, the reason for that is because I really needed to get me together, my mental health, my physical health. I had some family things going on this year, and I just wasn't in the mind frame to deal with what comes with the music industry, whether that be venues, promoters, other artists. My heart just was not in it, and I did not have the patience to deal with it. Just gonna keep it 100 with y'all. But this year we did do quite a bit with music on the same hand. So the beginning of the year, as most of you guys know, I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes in 2024 and then became insulin dependent in 2025. That was a huge transition for me, a very scary transition for me. And if you are a type 1 or you know one, then you can kind of get an idea of where I was at with it. Fast forward, we are taking insulin, no problem, getting right on track with the health and working on the mental health. And if you guys listen to my music, then you guys know that I'm always singing or rapping about mental health and real life struggles. So I mean what I say. Every rap I have ever created was not a lie. But with that being said, this year we did a little mini This Is Life tour. We also performed at Rednecks with Paychecks. We did a Trucks Gone Wild show. We did a couple different mud park shows. Went to a couple different mud parks just because I bought an RV to travel in, whether it just be to, I don't know, just to vacation or to go to the shows and carry all the merch and haul the side by side. So that was a big accomplishment for me. I had owned an RV before, but it was a complete piece. So so we went and got a new RV. And I'm very proud of myself for that. I look around at my life, and statistically, I was not supposed to be here. So I am very, very grateful for the experiences and the opportunities that I have had to cultivate a life that I can be proud of. So yeah, at the beginning of 2025, we really promoted a lot of our, I'm saying I promoted a lot of my old music. And for those of you who don't know, I had a producer that is no longer with us anymore. He was also a really great friend, but it was really awesome to see that the song that him and I created, In My Zone, has did very well this year in 2025. That makes me really happy because one, it's one of my favorite songs. Two, it was one of Kaz's favorite songs and that we did together. And three, I've gotten multiple messages saying how much that song has impacted people. And that's really why I do this, you guys. The music industry, if you know what that is like, then I don't really need to explain too much to you guys. But for those of you guys who don't know what the music industry is like, it is very hard to make any kind of profit. A lot of the times, us independent music artists are spending our own money and taking huge losses just to do what we love to do. We believe in a bigger vision than ourselves. And, I call it risking it for the biscuit. So I want to be very clear, like, music for me is not about money. It is not about fame. It is not about clout. Music is something that I have loved very deeply my whole entire life. And I have a story that is unlike a lot of folks. So I felt like it was really important to take this talent of songwriting that I have and integrate my life with that. And hopefully I can make some kind of contribution to the world through my songwriting. Um, I do want to say that we have grown over 180,000 followers this year on Facebook, you guys. Instagram, I lost followers this year, and I'm okay with that because it was dead weight. The people who unfollowed me obviously had no desire to be there. I also weeded out some followers that were not interacting on that platform. Um, on TikTok, we grew tremendously. This is Life and In My Zone were a couple of the TikToks that we did that really resonated with people. And the Kelsey Lynn music family grew quite a bit from those two songs and How Do You Sleep. So those three songs, really reached quite a few people. So, really thankful for that growth. Being able to connect with folks who are honestly a lot like me, have been through some things, not some things, a lot of things, and folks who have been stuck in survival mode. I know all too well about what that is like. So I guess we will start uh, just recapping January. Um, January was eventful to say the least. Because as I said before, like, I became insulin dependent, and that can be really scary. So I avoided insulin for a majority of the year, just not really taking care of my physical health simply because of my mental health. And then once we got closer to summer this year, we started planning like a little mini This Is Life tour. I didn't really want to invest into like planning my own tour too much to the point where like I was completely overextending myself and taking a hit financially, because there are other goals that I also have that require like financial backing. So I did what I could, and that was something that I also wanted to talk about. That was one of the things that I learned this year. As long as you are trying and you are waking up every day wanting to be a better person, no matter what that might look like to you. Excuse me, my words are fumbled. No matter what that might look like to you, growth is growth. Let's say that you wanted to work out more. If you woke up every single day with the intention of going to the gym, but you didn't make it to the gym, but you still decided that you were going to do 25 jumping jacks and that's all you had in you, that is okay. That is good enough. You tried. You did what you could. It mattered to you, and that is overall, an accomplishment. So that's one thing I learned. As long as you are just trying to move forward, that is good enough. That is good enough. I think oftentimes we put so much pressure on ourselves. We don't believe that we deserve good things. And if we don't follow through all the way, or we can't, or we just don't have like the mental bandwidth for it, we feel like failures, which in turn feeds that vicious negative cycle. So I'm glad that I woke up and I realized that this year. Um, and that it's not always about perfectionism, you know? I used to be the type of person where I was like, everything has to be perfect. And it doesn't. Because if things were perfect all the time, you would learn nothing. Um, this year, I also took in my dad, um, and, supported him in his sobriety journey. I tried to do the same for my mom, which did not work. So I learned a lot from that situation as well. Um, I think this year my biggest lesson was, not that you shouldn't help people, because if you can help, you should help. But I think my biggest lesson that I have learned this year is to not deplete yourself and lose who you are trying to serve others. Codependency is a huge problem that I have, and I know a lot of others deal with this as well. And I used to think that codependency was like you're dependent on somebody else, right? That is not what codependency actually is. So, what codependency actually is, finding your worth in somebody else's happiness. Like, if I don't do these things for these people, I ain't shit. And I did that a lot this year. I have this bad habit of taking other people's problems and making them my own. Like, I can always handle somebody else's life and all their problems and be like, okay, this is what we're gonna do and we're gonna get you on track. But when it came to my own life, I was not able to do that. And my life ended up becoming chaos this year because I was not worried about me. I was not worried about my own mental health. I was not worried about my own physical health. I was more worried about serving other people. And it all clicked with me a couple days ago, as crazy as that sounds. Um, I woke up one day and I just realized, like, I have been serving so many other people, all the while losing who I am, not serving myself, not even a thought about me and what is best for me. Um, so, I think going into 2026, that is going to be far different. Not, I think, I know. It will be far different. This year is going to be the year of selfishness. Um, we're always taught like you need to be selfless, you need to serve other people. And although that is true, you should not be doing it at the expense of losing yourself, if you will. So that was a big lesson for me this year. And I hate to say it, but you could spend so much time trying to help somebody else out of their situation or help people navigate through life. And when the tables are turned, that is not the case. Now, I'm not saying that you should do everything like for a reward, I guess, but you have to know when to say when, right? Life is all about balance. And when you are constantly doing for other people, you begin to lose who you are. And you can't take care of anybody else if you're not taking care of yourself. And we know this consciously, but subconsciously we fall right into that trap. Um, so, that was a huge lesson for me. And in 2026, I am not doing that anymore. I am absolutely going to take care of my mental health, my physical health. I am absolutely going to use that word no quite often. Um, and I'm definitely going to be giving out nothing but positive energy, um, while also remembering to not overly extend that positive energy to those who do not deserve it. Um, I'm a firm believer in actions speak louder than words. So, you can tell me all day long, like, oh, I love you, I love you, I love you. But if your actions say otherwise, then it's really empty. It's empty. It means nothing. And I have to stand on that. But moving on. Um, we also this year took out the side by side quite a bit. As you guys know, I love mudding so much. I love riding so much. I love being in nature so much. It's literally my piece other than music. I think it's like the next closest thing that I love other than my family and my music. So it was really nice to even have the opportunity to have a side by side or to go to the events that I've been to. This year, we also, like I said, did a Trucks Gone Wild show, and that was really awesome. I love the Mitten community. People there are so amazing, so very nice. Everybody is willing to help the next, and it's just really honor and a privilege to be able to perform for this community, with this community, being around this community. I feel as if I belong, which I haven't felt in a very long time, like even in the music scene. I've always felt like an outsider, and it's just really nice being able to be around people who share the same interests as you and are genuinely good people. We also did Rednecks with Paychecks this year in Texas. If you guys have not been to Rednecks with Paychecks, let me just say it is an experience that you guys should live out. If you are part of the writing community, it's definitely a huge party. It's definitely a huge party, and it was a whole experience. It was quite wild because we actually got stuck there in the mud park because the last day it rained horribly and we took the big ORV and we got stuck at the bottom of the hill. So um, we just kind of waited out the rain all day and then we finally took off. But that was a lot of fun. Every year I do a show in Lansing as well. Lansing, Michigan is my hometown. Um, that's where I was born. Um, we did a show there at Greywall Hall. Shout out to Greywall Hall. They are amazing people. Sound guys super awesome. The whole entire staff just really accommodating, and they make you feel right at home. Um, and it was really nice being able to see all of my family and friends in the crowd and just really share those vibes and those moments. Music is a universal language. We all love music. It is one of the best ways to convey your feelings and share energies with each other. And you definitely felt the energy in the room at that show specifically. So I had a really great year. I had a really great year. I was tested quite a bit. My patience, my strength, my will. I thought I was gonna break, um, and I didn't. I didn't. I'm here, and I'm thankful for that. Like even right now, my blood sugar is saying you're at 200 and elevating. Like, oh my god. But I also started therapy this year too. And therapy is something that I have avoided for years and years and years. And I feel like everybody could benefit off a little bit of therapy. But And now that 2025 is coming to a close, I just, within the last couple weeks, I kind of took a look at my life and I was like, I really need to get serious about everything. Literally everything. My goals, my health, my mental health. And I really encourage you guys to do the same. As always, I want to lift people up. I want people to benefit from my content, from my music, from me. I feel like life really is about what kind of impact you make. It's not about material things, it's not about superficial, materialistic things. It is truly about how you made a difference. And that is very important to me. So in 2026, which we are getting to right now, 2026, I have quite a bit of goals. And I started off with making a list of the things that I want to tackle with my health. Um, for those of you guys who are, maybe looking to lose weight or are, looking to exercise more, or let's say you want to meditate more. I know sometimes it feels like, oh, I don't want to do this, but that is exactly when we need to be doing it, is when we don't feel like doing it. Um, and really it's just about putting one foot forward, getting the ball rolling, getting it started, because it takes 21 days to form a habit, and when you stay consistent, oh my god, it it all unfolds, it aligns. So, also in 2026, like I said, I want to keep doing more podcasts. I want to grow the channel. So, if you guys want, share it with your family and friends. I would really appreciate it. I'm going to be talking about health, mental health, current events, past events. Like, we're really going to be talking about everything. I'm also going to have some juicy clock in the tea podcasts as well, because there are things that I have not talked about that I want to talk about. And, my experiences within the music industry and why I kind of backed off and away from the music business, and certain people in it. And, we're going to be talking about all kinds of things. But, yes, yes. Also in 2026, I mean, I literally wrote down like everything I wanted to do. I obviously want to build my following up more, and it's quality over quantity with me. When it comes to like a following, it's not the number itself, it's more about who is there, who is getting something from my content, who is able to take things away from watching my podcast or listening to my songs. So yeah, another one of my goals, sorry you guys, I'm reading off the list. I want to get an EP done, another EP. I know I said last year that I was going to, make an album, and I didn't. I didn't. And I'm not sad about it. I'm more so in the space of, you might have said you were going to do some things and you didn't do them, but you also have a lot on your plate, so you need to give yourself grace. But this year, I am going to be making an album, or should I say next year? Not an album, an EP. There is a difference. I do want to make another EP. I do want to plan some more shows at like mud parks and whatnot. And I also am going to be creating new merch designs. I also want to get something to make my own merch. for those of you guys who have been following me, then you guys know, like, I am all about trying to keep things in-house, just because I like to oversee everything I have going on. But all in all, 2026 is going to be awesome. 2025 was a year of learning, and now 2026 is the year of execution. So I hope everybody had a great year. You guys are going to have a blessed year coming up. I'm not even going to say I hope you do. We're just going to manifest that for y'all. And I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for being here and sharing these experiences with me and, listening to my music. So, yeah, that's all for today, you guys. But I will see you next year in 2026. This is Mitten Kitten Moments.